The news came out right as we were in the tail end of our final show of 2021 that I didn't even know if it was legit at first. But unfortunately, it turned out it was legit. Betty White, who is mere a week and a half, 2 weeks away, I can't remember, from her 100th birthday, passed away. I remember, obviously I knew about Golden Girls. I wasn't somebody who watched a lot of Golden Girls. To be honest, I think it was a bit before my time and whatever. That's fine. But I remember going back, my mom liked to watch old Betty White stuff, like her stuff on television and all that kind of stuff. She was iconic. But I remember for me, the first time that I went, my God, this lady is a national treasure, was the movie she did with Oliver Platt. And that I think it was the guy, what's the name of the actor again who played the president in Independence Day?
Bill Pullman.
I think Bill Pullman. Is a movie with Oliver Platt and Bill Pullman she did called Lake Placid.
Oh, the alligator movie.
And Jane Fonda's daughter, Bridget Fonda, was in that, the giant alligator movie. And she was the lady, turns out she's the lady feeding everybody to her giant alligator in it. And I remember, and she was so foul-mouthed and everything too. And I remember going, oh my God, I didn't know it, but I love Betty White. And then, of course, she did The Proposal with Ryan Reynolds and Sandra Bullock. And she just kind of became, then she hosted Saturday Night Live. And she was just the thing. And I remember one of my favorite things was there was a Facebook post going around or some social media post reminding people that when she had the Betty White show, she had a Black American performer on her show, even though it got tons and tons of pushback and the studio threatened her. And she basically said, F you, he's coming on my show. And somebody had that social media post going around, and Betty White actually responded to it saying, what can I say? I'm a badass bitch. And I'm just like, Betty White is Betty White. And I feel terrible saying it like this. It's difficult to feel too sad when you realize, Rob, you often use the phrase, a life well lived. When you look at Betty White, live until 99 and having the career that she had, the impact that she had, and being as beloved as she was, it's hard not to look at her passing as maybe something of a time to celebrate who and what she was. You know what I mean? So I know, Rob, what was your reaction when you heard about the passing of Betty White?
Well, she literally was at the dawn of television. Yeah, I remember reading somewhere, and this isn't, someone will have to correct me, but I think she was on some variety show that was one of the first things broadcast in Los Angeles. And,
I wouldn't doubt it.
And she literally was in television for over half a century, since television went on the air. And, you like you just said, like I always say, it is a life well lived, and you can't mourn somebody who had that kind of a life. You have to celebrate them. Sure, we'll miss the fact that they're not here anymore, but the legacy that she left, my God, how many people, when you hear their names, just put a smile on your face?
Yeah.
Look, watch this. Betty White. Come on, see? Everyone's smiling.
It's true. Everybody just loves it. Kim, you were here in the room where it happened, to quote Hamilton. But, what were your initial feelings? And, now that a few days have passed, you look back on Betty White, and what are your thoughts?
It makes me think about the connections we make to television and how sometimes we fill in the gaps of our own life. I saw a lot of people say, you know what, my grandma's passed on, or I never met my grandma. And just watching her in my head, she was my grandma. She was sweet and saucy. She was spicy and sweet. And Golden Girls is my comfort show, so I have it playing in the background when I go to bed because I never go to sleep unless the TV's on.
Oh, God, I'm like that too.
And I have to hear people in the background, and my mom thinks I'm crazy because she's like, turn that on. I'm like, they're my friends. I can't turn my friends off. The shade on Golden Girls. Oh, the shade that these ladies brought. And you know what? It deserves a rewatch because the writing was ahead of its time. It stands very well. And her delivery, talking about St. Olaf and all of her imaginary things and her analogies, she really was like America's grandmother. She was that grandmother that you're like, Grandma, don't say that. But, always had that warm hug. She'll be missed. And you know what? I think it's okay that you said it like that because that's the life I want to live. I don't want people to mourn me. I want people to laugh and smile and celebrate. And that's what she did for you. So she must have done it for a lot of people.
And, you know, Rob, to your point, you're mentioning like her face just, it doesn't matter. If you turn on the TV and Betty White's face is there, you just feel good.
Yes.
You just feel good.
She's also someone like Patrick Stewart who hasn't aged in the last 50 years.
Yeah, right?
She's looked like Betty White for 50 years.
It's absolutely true.
I got to mention something in the chat that someone's Kevin Rubio.
Oh, our buddy Kevin.
Yeah.
He says, tell Rob that Betty White actually participated in one of the very first experimental TV broadcasts in Los Angeles in 1939, prior to its debut at the New York.
I remember that. That's what I was thinking about.
Not that you were around in 1939, but
No.
yes.
No.
Yes, if I remember the detail. Anyway, guys, Betty White, a national, global treasure. Passed away at the age of 99. What are your favorite memories of Betty White and your thoughts as we look back on her life and career? Jump on down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys. With that down, there is one more off the top that we should talk about here today, and that is this.